Welcome to Travel Insights Bali number 9. Gratitude makes traveling easy. So, after a couple of months living in Ubud, I created a routine. I had a morning meditation practice. I went to the studio for yoga. I practiced my kriyas. I did a kriya training. And I ate in incredible restaurants with raw, live food, vegan, gluten-free, the best diet. I had places where I could walk daily. Nice people, yoga type people, just lovely places to go, shop a little bit. You could call it like a heaven for me in my area of lights. So my traveling partner and myself decided to go on a week traveling holiday around Bali. So what is interesting about this is that after a couple of months of a routine that's working very well for my system and for my preferences, to take off and go into a new environment after settling in is a little bit challenging. My basic practice routine got disrupted. And so I'll give you an example. So as you know, I have my preferences and my standards, and it keeps me happy and healthy. But as soon as we move to the first place is the Bali safari. Now, there's pros and cons to everywhere we go. So there was a lot of new entertainment, connecting with animals, getting educated on animals, and yet my diet was compromised, or maybe some of my practice was compromised. The second place we went to was more like a high-end beach resort place. The beaches didn't have long walks, which is my preference. I can go for an hour and a half long walk, that's my preference. But there it was cut off by properties, owning properties on the beach and whatnot. The third place we went to was sort of up in the mountains, and the temperature dropped about 10 degrees. And it was raining most of the time. It was dark and cloudy, and yet we had access to a temple and botanical gardens, and it was a nice, refreshing change. But there, again, my diet was compromised and some of my practices. And the fourth place is this place where we're back on a beach. It's more of a sort of a busy beach. This part's not so, a lot of surfing and whatnot going on. It's not so busy at the moment. But it can be a little bit more expensive and busy and hard to get hotels. And so we're working more with basic survival stuff. So what I'm getting out of all this is that there has to be a decision in the heart to stay open, to love, and to have gratitude for what is currently happening in the external environment, because the external environment will change. And so that means that if my internal practices are dependent on or internal happiness is dependent on the external, well, then it's going to be disrupted. So what is the biggest, best internal practice? And that's gratitude. Just being grateful for what is positive right here. instead of looking at the negative or the criticisms that are going on in the head, the comparisons of this place, the money issues, all kinds of stuff can come up. And you know, when you're traveling with a partner, they have preferences. I have preferences. How do we deal with that? How do we negotiate the pros and cons and the discussions around what should we do? Should we go? Should we stay? Should we do this? It's a challenge. And yet, when the heart is open and we've made a decision to be in a state of gratitude, then we look at the highest, we look at the best, we stay open in the heart, and we start to see that there is, you know, yes, I have preferences, but it's a changing field, and I can handle a little bit of this and a little bit of that, even though my standards are high. So really, it's not about getting my preferences met. It's more about deciding to stay in a state of gratitude. Yes, that's the answer. And yet, with gratitude, it attracts the best. We end up, because you start to see everything in that light. You're not focusing on the ego preferences and rights and wrongs and goods and bads. That's not where you're focused. You focus on what is currently beautiful, with the eyes of the divine looking at the perfection of everything. So there you have it. That's today's Travel Bali Insights. See you next time. Bye.